M0KEP, M0OXF copying you, Tim.
Lovely, thanks Clint. Yeah, just making sure that the station was in operation. Another 20 seconds to go. Lovely.
Yeah, copy that.
CQ members of the Harwell ARS Radio Society. This is G3PIA, Golf 3 Papa India Alpha calling CQ. CQ members of the Harwell ARS Radio Society, Golf 3 Papa India Alpha calling CQ. CQ members, I've already copied M0KP, M0OXF. Do we have anybody else on frequency? Please call in now.
Mike 0, Fox X-ray, Dave.
Mike 0, Fox X-ray. Good afternoon, Robert. So you're now also in the list. Anybody else? Well, there was somebody else calling in. Go again.
G0AOZ.
Oh, Roger, G0AOZ. Thanks very much. Not quite as strong as you are on top and HI. Right, so do you have anybody else for the Wednesday afternoon club net? G3PIA listening? Oh, nothing else heard at my end, so good afternoon, gentlemen. Thanks very much indeed for taking the trouble to come on this afternoon and get a few reports, but everybody was very easily copyable from my point of view. So, this is Tim. You were the first one I heard call in, M0KP from G3PIA.
Thanks, Dave. M0KP returning. Yeah, good signal from everyone. I've just got the signal report for you, though, Dave, at the moment. Of 20 over. You were up there as well, Clint, but I'll just wait till you've done a longer over and I'll have a look. If I can hear everybody, no problem at all. I will, well, I was going to say something else, but I've forgotten already. That's not good, is it? I normally blame it on not making notes what people are saying, but I think my brain's gone. Back to you, Dave. G3PIA in a group from M0KP.
You got the call signs right, Tim. M0KP from G3PIA. No doubt it'll come to you in a few minutes, and then write it down so you don't forget again. Yes, I have the notepad ready, trust me. Right, round to Clint. Good afternoon. M0 Oscar X-ray Fox from G3PIA.
Golf 3 Papa India Alpha, Mike 0 Oscar X-ray Fox. Yeah, good afternoon, Dave, Tim, Robert, and Roger. Managed to get back in time to make a cup of tea and join the sked on time. Signals thus far, Dave, you're peaking 5.9, occasionally plus a bit. Tim was peaking 5.8, almost 5.9. Robert was a strong signal, and I copied Roger, no problem at all also. I put a notification on our X feed to say that we're live on 7.150 megahertz. I'll QSP any additional third-party reports we might get. Don't know if my audio sounds any different, but I went to see Nigel a few nights ago, and I'm helping him sell a Yaesu FT-DX5000 rig from the Silent Key sale that he was managing from about a year ago. So I offered to bring it back here and use it, and whilst doing so, record a few videos for the Oxford Shortwave Log YouTube channel, and then put a link to contact me if anyone's interested in buying. So hopefully hearing me okay, hopefully the audio is okay. I haven't really done much to adjust it. I welcome your feedback. That's it for now. Back to you, Dave. Golf 3 Papa India Alpha from Mike 0 Oscar X-ray Fox.
Yeah, Mike 0 Oscar X-ray Fox from G3PIA, club station of the Harwell ARS Radio Society. Okay, fine, Clint, no problems. First of all, the report then. So you're peaking +5, QSB down to about 5 and 7. So quite a lot of noticeable QSB on you. So if I switch to the loop, you're 5.9 plus 15. So it's obviously something to do with the directivity of at least the lay of the land as far as my doublet is concerned. No, the audio sounds all right. Perhaps a twinge of, did I detect a little bit of distortion? But I've got a feeling that was something to do with QSB, to be honest with you. So I would have said it sounds very much like you. I wouldn't criticise the audio at all unless you'd, as you specifically asked, I made a comment. Okay, thanks for my report. Let's go on round to Robert. Give me a signal, Robert, when you call in. Men0 Fox XX from G3PIA.
Yes, G3PIA in the group. M0FXX, well everybody's good solid signals, although quite a bit of QSB this afternoon I noted, and I've noted that on two signals just listing around before we came on. So Dave, you're up to about a 20 over 9, but up and down by about 10 dB. 20 over 9, 5.9 plus 20. Clint, you were between 578 and 5.9 plus 5. Tim, you were 5.9 plus 15 with not much QSB. And Roger, you were about 5.9 plus a bit of QSB there. So those are the reports, and it's not too noisy this afternoon, which makes a change. Last night on the 432 megahertz UK ACS, I had a solid 5 S5 noise the whole time, and sometimes going up to S7, which was very annoying. But there we go. Back to you, Dave. G3PIA in the group M0FXX.
Yeah, M0FXX from G3PIA. Okay, fine, Robert. Thanks for that nice report. Reciprocal report to yourself, plus 20, with about 10 dB's worth of QSB. So, there we are. Definitely no problems in copying. Oh, sorry to hear about the noise level you had last night on 77. That was very annoying. I get a bit of noise in one direction due to, well, I'm not sure what it is, but there's a lot of houses there, so the noise floor sort of moves up as the beam swings round. But it's not a very a direction that I very often beam in. So, but I found it a little bit hard going. There's some very, very deep QSB last night. But there we are, that's all the fun of it. And some people seem to be doing very, very well. I guess the propagation favours certain parts of the country. Right to you, Roger. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining in. I trust all's well with yourself. G0AOZ from G3PIA.
Yes, good afternoon, Dave. Good afternoon to Tim, Clint, and Robert. Good to hear you all on G0AOZ returning with the group. Okay, all fine copy from everybody. Not feeling too bad at this end, Dave. I'll probably call it quits after the end of the 40-metre part of the band, because I'm feeling very, very tired this afternoon. So I'll just wait through the 40 metres and then I'll call it quits if you don't mind. Anyway, your report, Dave, 5 and 9 plus 10 with QSB. Tim, 5 and 9 with QSB. Clint, 5 and 8 with QSB. And Robert, 5 and 9 plus 10 again with QSB. Seems to be very prevalent this afternoon. Maybe it's got something to do with the solar activity that took place on Friday, so I understand. G3PIA, G0AOZ in the group.
Yes, G0AOZ from G3PIA. Okay, fine, Roger. Fully understand then reference just sticking on the net until we QSY from 40 metres to 80. So, yes, no problem at all. Understand that. Yes, there was a lot of solar activity, what a very big solar flare, so presumably that has something to do with the QSB, but we still seem to be able to communicate over a reasonable distance. And from John P, it'd be interesting to see if the communication was suitable up to that neck of the woods. We shall see. Maybe during the course of the proceedings we will call in. Okay, thanks for that report. 5.9 plus 5 for yourself with some QSB, but nothing dipping down to anywhere near noise floor. I think as Robert commented, the band actually seems quite quiet at the moment, which is quite nice. A lot of activity just before we came on. I wasn't sure whether we were going to get this frequency or not, but all of a sudden it cleared, so that was good. Okay, go around back to the top of the shop and see what people have got to comment on. Not a great deal been doing here. I've been playing around with this at the field strength meter just to see if in fact the audio is passed through to the output, and it is. So it's interesting. I'm going to add a crystal earphone to it so that you can actually monitor the signal that you're receiving, for making it useful for tracing interference. Well, at least that's the theory at the moment. Not that it doesn't always work. Also finished 77 PA. But there was only a bit of spraying to do on that. It was cosmetic rather than proper design. Not otherwise, no real radio work, but lots of other bits and pieces being done, including getting some planting done in the garden. Right, right to the top, round to you, Tim. M0KP from T3PIA.
That sounds like a confidential station's just come on here, but hopefully not interfering too much. Yeah, I remember what I was going to say. All it was I just thought I got your Twitter through there quick, so I liked that. So hopefully we'll hear some people come on. The other signal reports I've got are, I've got about 20 dBs of QSB on everybody, maybe slightly under that, but so these are kind of peak readings, actually, 5 and 9, Roger 5 and 9, and Robert 20 over. Everybody I think knows what we thought. Disappear, actually, so if I don't come back at some point, it's because I've had to go and get a delivery. I've got a log splitter coming, an electric log splitter, because I've decided my days of splitting logs. I didn't really start, but it's not really going to carry on. I can't seem to do it. I'm not beefy enough or got the right technique with not the axe, but whatever it's called, the sort of slightly smaller like axe head to do splitting. That's no good. Got a couple of new log burners coming tomorrow actually, which would be good as well, so they're going to be installed. Get rid of the faulty one. And what was I going to say? Yeah, Phil straight to me to Dave. Yeah, it sounds quite good actually. I guess that's the one that you were looking at doing for the club some time ago. And I was going to ask something. I've been looking at sort of active antenna circuits recently. I did a little loop. I did a loop for somebody, fitted an amp in there and so on. But I'm thinking about trying making like an active dipole, which is a bit like a field strength antenna. So I wanted to put a little amplifier on there to pick up the RF from it rather than field strength. And I wondered if anybody has any good circuits. There's a few online. All very different. I don't know quite what all the pros and cons of them all are yet. I haven't really worked out how they're all working, but if anybody's got a good circuit for one of those, they don't mind divulging, that would be fantastic. Back to you, Dave. G3PIA in the group, M0KP. And, I haven't got a report from you either, Dave.
M0KP from G3PIA. Okay, Tim, sorry, plus 20. My apologies, I forgot to give you that. Right, well, the device I've used is an AD8307, which is this logarithmic amplifier, which is quite useful. It's got sort of 10 dB range. It's an 80 dB dynamic range altogether. In fact, you can push it to a bit more than that. Very, very sensitive, and I just follow it then with a buffer amplifier, really just so that people could use any sort of microamp meter on. Or milliamp meter even, so the amp will drive a bit more than the output from the analog devices chip. It is working all right now. I presented it to the last meeting, and it looks as though we've got 10 people interested in knocking it up. So I've got to assemble some kit now. I just finished the design by adding there's a spare op amp in the chip that I've used as a buffer. I'll just buffer the output again so it don't affect the readings on the meter when you're listening to it. And rather than put a high power audio amp, because that was just double batteries, I've got some little crystal earphones which will handle the audio without loading it. So that's my thoughts, that's what I've used. Maybe some others have got some other ideas. Okay, about the stereo log burners, presumably one at each end of the room, is it, Tim? I'm sure you're going to put them somewhere else. Yeah, the electric log splitters, they're great. I forgot what the thing I use for what's it called? I've got a proper log splitting axe. So an axe, the problem with an axe, it tends to dig in a bit too much, whereas this is it's like a sledgehammer, but with a sort of tapered end. And that's brilliant at splitting logs. The problem is they tend to fly away when you do split them, and I more or less a couple of times hit the greenhouse with the log that's seen flying off, but got away without breaking any glass so far. So lesson learned, move it away and do it somewhere else now. So understand that you've got to disappear. That's being delivered. That's fine. So, and yes, of course, obviously, you've observed that Clint's put a message out on Twitter. So thanks for doing that, Clint. In fact, going to you now. I'm 0OXF from G3TIA.
Golf 3 Papa India Alpha, Mike 0, Oscar X-Ray Fox returning. Thanks, Dave. Well, nice to speak to you, Tim, and Roger, who I believe has also retired for the afternoon. Just quickly on my reports, Dave, you're still peaking 5.9 plus a bit. Tim's signal was down on his last over. He was peaking about S7. And I haven't heard Robert again. Robert was 5.9 plus, and Roger was 5 and 3. So I think I concur with your summary earlier, Dave, that Roger's signal was a little bit down than from his usual level, which for me is usually about 5, 6. Yes, indeed, I put a notification on Twitter, no reports, but a few likes of the post. I will QSP anything we get. When I lived in Stanton Harcourt in a sort of modern house that had a sort of fireplace and chimney, fire was very nice, but it really only warmed up the room itself, the living room. But then I lived in Standlake in a sort of quite small but 400-year-old cottage with a log burner, and if you left the doors open, my goodness, when you got that fire going, it could literally heat the whole house up. It was very, very good indeed. These days, I live in the 21st century with underfloor heating, which is okay. I think I prefer to sit in front of a fire, if I'm honest. Hi. Right, thanks for my reports. I think that's about it for now. Obviously, I'll QSP anything that does come via the X feed. Back to you, Dave. Golf 3, Papa India Alpha from Mike 0, Oscar X-Ray Fox.
Yeah, Mike 0, X-Ray Fox from Golf 3, Papa India Alpha, plus station for Harwell ARS Radio Society. Okay, fine, Clint. And yes, quite rapid QSP on your signal that time. This is quite deep null, but still can't be perfectly okay. Okay, about the log fire, yeah, well, we have the same. We're unfortunate we have no gas and here, so we have oil for heating. So in order to supplement the oil, I run the log burner and just leave the doors open, and that tends to heat the rest of the house as well. But it's only a 5 kilowatt log burner in theory, and I'm sure it pumps out more than 5 kilowatts a time. But there we are. I thought it was a psychological thing with the log burner. And I don't feel too guilty about using it because it's fairly out in the open here, so it's not going to be blown straight into other people's houses close by. So the fact that people that sort of live in a very heavily populated area, it seems to be a bit of jumping up and down about the bullets that come out from the log burners. But there we are. Okay, fine. Right, let's go on round to Robert, see what comments you've got. Then 0 Fox XX from G3TIA.
Yes, G3TIA. I'll just see if somebody was tuning up. I wonder if they're on want to call it.